Creating a Wind Energy Farm in Calais, Maine, Part 2. Presentation by Laura Jackson on June 3, 2019 for EVSP 501, Environmental Management at American Public University. Harnessing electricity from the wind is considered to be one of the cleanest and most sustainable forms of energy generation, as it produces no pollutants. This presentation continues the exploration of a hypothetical project that would see the installation of a wind farm in Calais, Maine. Located along the St. Croix Valley, Calais receives average wind speeds of 6.5 meters per second at 80 meters, meeting the average requirement advisable for steady electricity generation. Wind farms have several considerations and stakeholders involved. At the federal level, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service are a major stakeholder, while at the state level, the Maine Department of Environmental Protection will review the project proposal before it can move forward. Wind farms in Maine present particular risks to migrating and predatory birds, including eagles, which we have a large population of, as well as little brown bats and insect species. There are numerous anti-wind groups in Maine that are generally opposed to wind development, and they may become involved with a new proposal. Among the active groups are Friends of Maine Mountains, Citizens Task Force on Wind Power, and Saving Maine. Locally, stakeholders include recreational groups such as the Sunrise Trail Riders, which is an ATV group, and conservation clubs, including the Fundy chapter of the Audubon Society. Lastly, the residents of Calais themselves represent major stakeholders whose opinions would need to be heard and accounted for. The vision statement of the Calais Wind Farm, which could be called Calais Wind, could be: Calais Wind is committed to generating clean, sustainable energy for the creation of a future in which all parts of the Calais community can thrive. Broadly speaking, the goal of a Calais wind farm is to offset non-renewable energy usage within the residential Calais community. There are currently just under 3,000 people living in Calais. A single onshore turbine can produce up to 2.5 to 3 megawatts, which is enough to comfortably power 1,500 homes. As such, the first objective is simply to provide a steady, reliable source of electricity generation to the residents of Calais using wind power and battery storage. A second objective is to provide electricity with minimal impact on local flora and fauna. This means taking all necessary steps to avoid impact initially and potentially taking additional steps as the project continues to create habitat elsewhere if needed. A third objective of the wind farm would be to raise awareness and support of clean, sustainable energy types, particularly for remote and rural municipalities like Calais that could do a lot with independent energy generation.